Is the high-resolution camera dead, or is Nikon just getting started? For years, the Nikon Z7 series was the undisputed king of the mountain for landscape photographers and studio pros. It was the camera you bought when you didn't just want a photo. You wanted to harvest every single photon of detail. But today, as we sit in 2026, a dark shadow of uncertainty hangs over the Nikon roadmap. While the Z8 and Z9 have ascended to the throne of speed and power, the high-resolution community is left asking a chilling question. Has Nikon turned its back on the stills-first philosophy? Is the long-awaited Nikon Z7 III an evolution, or is this long delay a silent betrayal of its most loyal fans? Let's find out if the king is coming back, or if the throne is gone forever. The rumor mill has become a chaotic battlefield lately. For months, we have been chasing the ghosts of a new super sensor. There are whispers of a 61-megapixel, or even a staggering 67-megapixel beast. This would finally reclaim the resolution crown from Sony's A7R series. These hints suggest Nikon is preparing a specialized weapon. It would be a camera that ignores the 8K video hype of the Z8 and focuses entirely on the slow photography movement. The most exciting news points toward a partially stacked sensor. Unlike the fully stacked design of the Z9, which is built for insane speed, a partially stacked sensor allows for a big jump in readout speed without the massive price tag. Imagine the legendary color and dynamic range of the Z7 lineage, but paired with the power of the Expeed 7 processor. We are talking about the Starlight mode, advanced 3D tracking that can find a bird through thick branches, and the incredible 8-stop stabilization from the Z6 III. On paper, it is the ultimate tool. But hints are not hardware. As the months tick by, the silence from Nikon feels less like a strategy and more like they are moving their money toward video creators. To understand why the stakes are so high, we have to look back at the glory days of the Z7 II. When it arrived, it wasn't trying to be a fancy cinema camera. It was a love letter to the Nikon D850. It offered a base ISO of 64. That is the holy grail for photographers who want the cleanest shadows and files they can push to the absolute limit in post-processing. In its prime, the Z7 II was the Goldilocks of the system. It was compact, built like a tank, and offered image quality so good you wondered if you even needed a medium-format camera. For the travel photographer, it was the perfect companion. It didn't have the bulk of a giant flagship, but it had enough punch to print billboards. It was the rise of the resolution king. People loved it because it had integrity. It did one thing stills better than almost anything else. It was the backbone of professional portfolios from the peaks of the Andes to the fashion runways of Milan, but even kings must face the passage of time. The fall of the Z7 II didn't happen because the images got worse. It happened because the world got smarter. As Sony and Canon started putting deep learning AI into their autofocus, the Z7 II started to feel like a relic. It was a camera that made you work for the shot rather than helping you get it. You had to hunt for focus in low light, and the tracking often failed when things got fast. Then came the Z8, and that was the biggest blow. Suddenly, Nikon had a camera that did everything the Z7 II could do, but 10 times faster. The Z8 offered the same resolution, but added 8K video, a blackout-free viewfinder, and an autofocus system that felt like magic. For many, this was the end of the line for the Z7 series. Why buy a Z7 III if the Z8 already exists? The Z7 series was pushed into a corner. It was too expensive for beginners, but outclassed by its big brothers in every way except for one, portability. It became the old man of the lineup. It was still capable of beautiful work, but it struggled to keep up with the fast pace of modern demands. So, where does that leave us in 2026? Can the Z7 III overcome the shadow of the Z8, or is it destined to be the forgotten child? For Nikon to win, they have to change direction completely. The Z7 III cannot just be a smaller Z8. If it is, it will fail. It needs to be a specialist. We need a sensor that goes way beyond 60 megapixels to give people a real reason to upgrade. It also needs to keep the mechanical shutter. The Z8 and Z9 dropped the shutter to be faster, but studio photographers still want it for perfect flash sync and to avoid the weird rolling shutter sensor shimmer. It needs to be the Leica of the Nikon line. It should be a tool for purists that focuses on the feeling of taking a photo. It should be about the tactile click, the weight in the hand, and the incredible clarity in the viewfinder. The real challenge is escaping the hybrid trap. Every camera today tries to be a cinema powerhouse. The Z7 III has a unique chance to rebel against that trend. By focusing on a high-resolution electronic viewfinder that rivals the best in the world, and a screen that works perfectly for vertical and horizontal landscape shots, it can find a niche the bulky Z8 cannot fill. It is about proving there is still a market for a lightweight, high-res powerhouse that doesn't need 8K video to be relevant. The fear of betrayal comes from the idea that Nikon has abandoned the still photographer in favor of the TikToker or the YouTuber. If the Z7 III is just a Z6 III with a few more megapixels and a high price tag, it will be a major disappointment. It will feel like Nikon is just coasting on its name, but Nikon might be waiting to deliver a knockout blow. By taking their time, they can use sensor technology that actually beats the Z8 in raw image quality. We have seen what they can do with the ZF and the Z6 III. They know how to make cameras that people love to hold. If they give us 60+ megapixels, the best dynamic range in its class, and a body that fits in a small hiking bag, all will be forgiven. The Z7 III isn't just a camera. It is Nikon's statement on the future of photography itself. Will they keep the flame of the high-res stills purist alive? Or will they let it flicker out in the name of all-in-one hybrid machines? In my opinion, the Z7 III is the most important camera Nikon has left to release. If they get it right, they secure the loyalty of the professional landscape and studio community for another decade. These are the photographers who buy the expensive S-line lenses. They are the core of the brand. If Nikon gets it wrong, they risk losing those artists to brands like Sony or even Fujifilm, who still prioritize the art of the single frame. This camera isn't just a piece of tech. It's a statement about what photography means in a video-driven world. We are all holding our breath and our shutters until we see the final specs. If it has that base ISO 64, that massive resolution, and the new AI autofocus, it will be the camera of the decade. The wait has been long, and the frustration is real. Many photographers have already jumped ship to the Z8, but for those who stayed, the reward needs to be massive. We don't want a jack of all trades, we want a master of one. We want the resolution king to reclaim its crown. If Nikon delivers a camera that makes us fall in love with photography all over again, the delay will have been worth it. But if they stay silent for much longer, that silence might just become the sound of fans walking away. What do you think about the upcoming Nikon Z7 III? Is it still on your wish list, or have you already moved on to the Z8 or another brand? Do you think 67 megapixels is too much, or is it exactly what we need to push the boundaries of large-scale printing? Write down your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from the purists who still care about the art of the still image. Your voice is what keeps this community alive. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on the future of gear and the latest rumors in the camera world.